there we go. Come on, say money changes everything. Didn't get to the right bit of the song. Anyway, you knew what I was trying to go with that. Bit of a party atmosphere before we get started. So hi, I'm Karyn. Thanks for joining me. This is like a no BS approach to your changing your relationship with money. So when you all started your hypnosis business, how many people started because they had to change from someone else, working with someone else, or you wanted to help other people? That was your main goal, was to help other people. But did you also want to make money? One of the problems is with money, we go into business, but we're not trained on how to actually do a business. We have lots of values and I'll just click onto this. Oh, and actually, I wasn't going to go there yet. Who am I first? Before we go to what I was going to do with the values. Basically, I am an CPA accountant turned hypnotherapist. I'm trained in kinesiology, NLP, timeline therapy, creatrix, and all the woo-woo stuff, channeling, all that sort of stuff as well. So I kind of tap into everything. But when it comes to business and when it comes to knowing your numbers and actually making money, you need to know what your numbers are, and that's where the accounting comes in. And a lot of people aren't trained in that, so I'm going to go through. You'll see a little spreadsheet up the top there, and later on I'm going to go through some ways to actually do that as well. But first, to attract abundance, we have to align our beliefs and values with our financial goals and actually understand the budget numbers. So a lot of you maybe even be trained in NLP and have actually done your values. You know what your values are, but they can change. And what I'm also going to do is you're actually going to align your core value with your beliefs. And what you've done through NLP doesn't include that, just actually elicits your values and works out what your number one value is. But do you know how many times you're pushing away money because your beliefs don't align with your value? So we're actually going to do an exercise today. You've got papers on your table. You're actually going to, if you do know your values, you can actually write them down. But if you don't, we've actually got cards up the back there and down the front here. So you can actually, I invite you to go up and have a look and just pick 3. If you're going to do, as you know, if you're listening values, you go through questions going, okay, what's important to me? What's most important to me? And you actually elicit them and get a whole list, and then you actually put them in order. But we're not going to have time to do that for everybody. So we're just going to do, say, 3 values. We're really looking for your top value in life, how you live your life, what is important to you, what's most important. And that's how you make decisions based on your values. I'm also going to share a little exercise aligning your left and right brain. And I'm also going to show you as well, when you're choosing your cards, there's a lot of cards to choose from, and you might think, oh, I like that, I like that. There's actually a way to make a decision what's right for you. Now, some of you may have heard of this before, which is the body sway. So I'd like you all to stand up. Think of, if you've got something in your mind that you want to know an answer to, is it this or that? First off, you need to actually find out what your yes or no is. So just stand with your feet just, solidly on the ground and just ask yourself, show me a yes. And you'll see you'll sway one way or the other. It could be right, left, back, forward. And so once you've ascertained what your yes is, has everyone done that? Okay. Now ask to show me a no. And just notice what that does. Like mine's a forward for yes and back for no. Everyone worked out what that is? Now ask a question that's untrue. Like your name is something opposite, and see what it does. So you're just testing that your no is sort of doing the right thing for you. Did everyone get a no for the wrong answer? Now say an answer that's correct and make sure you go for a yes. Make sure it does a yes for you. This is how you get to trust that your body knows the right answer. So you can use this anywhere, not just for listening to values, but in a shopping centre. Is this food good for me? Yes or no? Should I eat this chocolate? Yes. So it all comes down to trusting yourself and trusting your body to actually give you the right answers. So I'd invite you now to just go at the back of the table and have a look at the values up there. If you can just see if there's any values that you sort of hadn't picked up before. And there's some down the front here as well too. I'm going to take this moment to have a drink of water.
How many are we picking?
Just, you know, 1 or 2 or 3. Like ultimately, you're looking for your top 3 values for this process. And we're going to actually go through a process where we actually work out which one is more important to you to get your top value.
Have you got the same cards there?
No, they're all different cards.
Cards.
There is. So you can just like in your mind pick, look, no, you don't have to take the cards with you. Yeah, that's what you value most in life and the way you live your life. Like, you know, so like for me, my top value is enjoy life. And if you, I'll tell you a little story. When I was doing my NLP master practitioner, we had to elicit our values, and then we had to do a breakthrough. And I tried to change my number 1 top value because it didn't align with trying to lose weight, because enjoy life. And I felt so out of sorts after we did it. I had to get the trainer to get it back for me, because the next week I was so out of whack. So your number 1 value is really important to how you live your life. But your values can change, but they're not as changeable as beliefs.
Is there a value called changeableness?
Yeah, it's what's important to you.
What do we do with the cards?
You showed
Well,
them
just
the
look-
cards.
Oh,
How do I do that? I'll pick them up. Okay. I'm just going to show some of the cards to the camera.
Want to take a picture of it? Yeah. Oh, okay.
Make a difference. So these cards actually have like meanings on there to help you as well. And I just bought these from Amazon. To have a significant and positive effect on a person or situation, or the world or the universe at large. To cause a change and be important in some way. Obviously, career. To dedicate my energy, time and resources to an occupation, job or profession, especially one requiring special learning, training and experience, like us.
Yeah. So
And you can take them, obviously bring them back before. Dignity. To be and to act in a way that is worthy of honour and respect. I mean, there's a lot more words, but I won't read them all out. So this one is actually like fun. It's my enjoy life. To play and to have fun, making sure that I do pleasurable things in my life for no ulterior motive, and that they feel good to do. Okay, so for the camera, there's also a list of values that you can choose from on the camera for you at home. So now, we've still got some people looking up. So has everyone got their main 3? I'm going to have that on a slide too, Trish. Yes? You got 3? Okay, perfect. So just wait for the last couple of people to sit down so we can get going.
Yes, somebody else can too early.
Yeah.
Do these change depending on what's going in your life, or are they
Generally, your values stay. I've just got to ask the question: do your values change on what's going on in your life? Values are generally quite. You keep them for a long time. They don't just change with what's going on. Your beliefs change, but values are usually coming from, what's happening in your past, and you hold on to those because they're like how you live your life. But they're not unchangeable. Like, as I said, through my master practitioner training, we could move them higher up in the hierarchy of our values. And that's one way you can actually change how you live your life, by moving one, like say health from say maybe 10 up into number 2, but just never change your number 1 value when you're doing that process. Because that's when I felt so out of sorts, when we moved health to number 1 and it didn't quite work. So we right to go, everyone? Okay, so grab your sheet, write your values. So you're asking yourself, if you haven't got the cards, you're asking yourself what is important about your life, what else is important to you. Actually elicit 20, 30, 40, and then you decide which ones are your top. But in this stage, we're only going to go the 3. Then you're going to actually write next to that in step 2, what does this value mean to you? And I'll just change my slides. It's also up there for the, sorry, there was the compass deck. So if you wanted to purchase on Amazon, there's a QR code, and I'll show you this later as well. But so for those at home who don't have the sheet, you can actually write this down with the steps. So what you're looking at is, what does this value mean to you? So when you look at those 3 values you picked, so for me, freedom or enjoy life, enjoy it means having fun and makes me feel loved. Or freedom, being able to do as I please. Or dependable, are always there for others. So you're kind of looking at what those 3 that you chose, what does the value actually mean to you? Then you're actually going to go for step 3, why is this value important? So again, I've got examples up there of my ones. It's important because I was taught that others come first. Ooh. Enjoy life, feel connected with others. So think about your 3 and put those down. And then step 4, what experience will I like from this value? So example, dependable, feel loved. Freedom, travel the world. I just booked my flight to Italy this morning. That's why I didn't make the actual meditation this morning. So travel the world. Woohoo! Enjoy life is, I want to feel happy. Once you've got that, then you actually ask yourself, this is where you could use the body sway, which one is my top value? What's my number 1 value? So if you're not sure, you look at the 3 and go, oh, I don't know. Do the body sway and find out which is your number 1. How's everyone going with that? Does anyone need more time, or they're traveling well? Need more time? Cool. There's only 8 steps. By understanding what your values are, it helps you understand why you react to things, why you do things. If you're not getting the things that you want out of life, this awareness can actually open up what you need to do and what you need to change. And we'll also look at beliefs. Now, these are things that you can do with your clients. Obviously, the cards also come with like a little instruction where you can play different games with your clients as well. So you'd probably do a couple of sessions where, one, they identify their values, then look at their beliefs. And then as hypnotherapists, then you know how to make the changes. Quite often, once I've aligned them, I'll also make a meditation or a hypnosis, a lot of what their beliefs are and what they want out of life. So you can actually incorporate all that as well. I will move on. So once you've identified what order you want them in, you rewrite values in order. So rewrite them again in the actual order. And then you need to ask, how does this value serve you? So, enjoy life, have fun, and makes me feel loved. It was the same. So you're just kind of repeating. But then you need to ask, how does this value not serve you in relation to money? Now, this talk is about money, but you can use this for any area of their life that they want to have and make a change for. But how does this value not serve you in relation to money? So freedom, travel costs money, and freedom means taking time off, not earning money. So that kind of goes against that value. Enjoy life, spending money that might not have, living on credit. So those, if you have that idea that may not serve you, then you could be pushing money away. But then we want to flip that. We want to flip those where you can see that doesn't serve you into how it aligns with to ensure wealth. So again, freedom. My income allows me the freedom to travel on a whim. Enjoy life, or travel business class, by the way. Enjoy life. My income allows me to enjoy the good things in life. Or dependable. My income allows me to share my wealth to help others. So when you can see where it doesn't serve you in relation to money, and then you can flip it and get your mindset into that space where you can actually see where it does benefit you, then you've got that first awareness. Is that making sense to anybody? Everybody? Okay. Anybody need any more time? All good? Okay. Next thing, what are your beliefs? Now, these are the things that you can change a lot easier, and they do change with what's going on in your life. But our beliefs, if they don't align with those values, then we are definitely going to push money away. So you asking questions, what do I believe? Does this belief align with my values and goals? Do I understand? Do I hold on to this belief out of habit or tradition? When did I first encounter this belief? Who introduced this belief to me? Was it taught or modeled to me? What emotions are associated with this belief? Asking you questions, what did your parents believe? Because, money doesn't grow on trees. I bet you've all heard that from your parents. So these beliefs we carry on, but we don't have to hold on to them. So you're asking yourself, just getting those questions out to actually find out what your beliefs are. And then asking yourself, am I open to revising those beliefs? Because if you're not open, as we all know, you won't change. So some common beliefs that come in the way of attracting abundance. So as I said, remember your parents saying money does not grow on trees. Money is the root of all evil. Yep. You have to work hard to make money. I mean, that's a big one. And I think us, as what we do in our work as well, we also believe that we can't charge for giving health. Why should we charge that much money? Why should we just be helping everybody? These are all beliefs that we need to shift, because it stops us from attracting that money. There's never enough money. Rich people are greedy or unethical. And that's probably one of the things that we probably often believe when we're going into this sort of business, that we're being greedy. I don't have the resources to achieve financial success, or money is hard to come by. And that's just a few. I'm sure, has anyone else got any more they can think of that sort of relates to things that maybe their parents have, drummed into them? Anything that jumps out? Yeah.
Always a bargain.
Always a bargain. Always, yeah, definitely. What was yours? Don't have enough skills, to earn big money. Exactly. But those beliefs are specifically about money. But what I've actually noticed is a lot of beliefs are about ourselves. That stops us from attracting money. I'm not smart enough. I'm not good enough. I'm not worthy. I'm not deserving of success. All these things are all about what we've taken on inside of us. And when we have these beliefs, it makes us hard to attract money, because unconsciously we're just pushing it away. So you all know, like, obviously how to shift these, but you've got to notice, you've got to know what those beliefs are that you're holding on to. So journaling or doing the, things like this exercise, because like the last page is actually listing beliefs and questions to ask yourself. My beliefs about money are, the reason that hold me back from making the money I want are, I'm not financially free because, what do I think I will lose when I become wealthy? The worst thing about having money is, and my parents' beliefs about money. So if you sort of ask yourself those questions and just elicit all the beliefs that may be holding you back, then you can then do what you need to do to make those changes. And it can be as simple as, once you're aware of it, then shifting it into a new belief, transforming it, changing it around, or do the change work. And obviously, when you've got clients, you can do that change work with them to actually transmit those beliefs into something positive. So after identifying your core value, because your core value is your guiding compass, what meaning have you put to money? So aligning the meaning of your beliefs to your core value, because beliefs can be changed. So when you look at your core values and you look at those beliefs, and you can see that that belief conflicts with your core values, they're the first ones you want to work on if you're trying to attract money. Obviously, if you believe that you're not good enough, you're not smart enough, they're the first ones you're going to go for. And then over time, you'll start working through. So with your clients, once they've done this process, you've then got your next couple of sessions sorted out of what you're going to work with them. Does anybody else, does everyone understand all that about the beliefs and aligning them? Is anyone sort of a bit confused about what to do? Everyone's good? Awesome. Okay, we're going to have a bit of fun. When we're trying to switch from being creative, or even if we're just tired, we need to move and we need to align our left brain to our right brain, because obviously one does the accounting side, one does the creative side. There's a thing called I learned in kinesiology. I'm sure Megan knows it. It's called cross crawl. So I want you all to be upstanding. I invite you all to be upstanding. And you'll notice sometimes, I just want you to start marching on the spot. And has anyone noticed that the same arm and same legs coming up? If it is, you need to switch it, because basically it's quite happens if you're stressed. If you do same arm, same leg, it means your brain's not sort of, left and right brain's not sort of talking to each other. So consciously then make sure it's opposite. And this is good, obviously if you're having a busy day at work and just want to get up and move, this is a great thing to do. You can turn it into a dance. Let's just. Are we going to work? Okay, so then you can actually do it as a woo. It's anything that's opposite that you're actually having a bit of fun with. So we're going to turn it into like a class of movement. And it can be crawling, like a baby crawls. Doing a wacko there. Babies crawl, and they do left. Exactly, that's what's called a cross crawl. So it's anything, you can do woo. Has that made everyone awake? You want to keep dancing? Yep. Okay. Woohoo! Let's turn it up. Ah. We do have to get into some boring bits of the accounting side. Okay. So once you've done the alignment, that's when you can actually create your affirmations. And I made this earworm mantra. I've actually turned this into a hypnosis as well. So it's basically, I'm aligned with money. Money's aligned with me. As I serve others, money flows to me. I love money. I'm a bit out of breath from dancing. Money loves me. I'm a money magnet. Money flows to me. So you do that with your clients, with what came up for them in that process, and turn that into a hypnosis for them that they can take home, Need to get my breath back. Oof. Okay. What was that? It was. So affirmations won't work if you have those beliefs that are holding you back. It's like your unconscious mind, as you know, doesn't believe if you've got conflict. So once you've solved that, affirmations work amazing. Look in the mirror, eyeball yourself, do those affirmations that I attract money, all those sort of things. But do that step first. But now that you've got the awareness and everything's aligned, you know what you want, so you know how to see, you know how do you get it? Do you know how to crunch the numbers? So now we're doing the boring accounting shit. Sorry. The law of attraction states that you can attract what you focus on, including money, but without budgeting. And what I'm going to teach is like a budget cash flow, because you can look at what your expenses are and what your income is, but you want to know how that's going to affect your bottom line. How much you're going to have money, how much you're going to have money in the bank. And you need to know, like I budget out for 12 months. So you can actually work out what you're going to come in, how many sales you're going to get, what are you going to spend that money on? Are you going to do some more coaching with someone else? Are you going to outsource them to a VA? You need to know all that information. Okay. So unfortunately, the people at home can't see the screen, but Trish will put something up on the replay. Oh, ooh. Ooh, so I'm going to go this side. Okay, so maybe you are going to get to see. I mean, am I in still here? Okay. Who knows Excel? Who loves Excel? Any good with formulas? Okay. So I've got this spreadsheet up with just some simple formulas in there. But what this does, it allows you to put in, obviously, your balance of your bank account to start off with. And then through the process, we're actually going to tie in to your balance at the bottom, so you know what your cash flow, and then we're going to project that out for 12 months based on what you think you're going to get in income, what you think you're going to expend. And then you can update this. See, I've got actual estimate. And these are all just dummy numbers, they're all just dummy things. Each month, you transpose that the estimate to actual as that month's happened. So then you can still reflect out how your year's going to go. So you start off with, obviously, just your balance of your bank account. Now, I do sometimes, with my accounting job, I used to reflect this out for 2 or 3 years. But obviously, maybe in the work that we do, you don't probably want to reflect it that much. You might want to start with 12 months. 2 years might be too much. But if you've got some big programs that you know you're working towards, and you think that's going to bring in year 2 good money, well, then you can sort of just extend this out. So you just got your months. Then at the top there, you've got your total. There's outflow. That should be income. Have I got it at the top? Yeah, okay. The first thing you need to probably ask yourself as well is, there we go, inflows. Are you a company or a sole trader? And are you registered for GST? Because that's going to affect, when I work with cash flow, it includes everything. So if you're buying things, you include in the GST amount, but then you'll actually pay the GST out. So you reflect that in your cash flow. So each person's going to be different on how they would actually work with something like this. And then you actually put in your income. So that's based on how much you think you're going to bring in with your clients per month. And then I've got like another tab going, how much income do I want to earn yearly expenses, total dollars needed to business to earn. Then you can actually how much should I charge? Clients need. I'm not used to without a mouse. Clients need yearly. So their formulas in there, so you'd actually just change. Oh, where's no. Yep. You can change that number. Clients need daily. How many days a week? I'm going to work 3 days a week. I'm going to work 4 days a week. So you need two and a half clients daily to get that sort of income. And then you say, look, my expenses, maybe they're going to go up to 50,000. So that changes the numbers. So this is just a quick way of working out how many clients you want to work with and how much money you want to bring in for your income. But then back to the first sheet, this is actually where you're actually doing the cash flow. So you're going to come in here and just write, okay, like I expect I'm going to earn 15,000, or I think I'm going to earn 20,000. Oh, it's 200,000. Woo! Whatever. And then you might have bank interest. Might have gone up a little bit more depending on how much money you've got in the bank. At the moment, with the interest going up, it's really good for having money in the bank. Not so good for not much money. But then you start looking at so that gives you total inflows, and you can break that up into what sort of income you're bringing in as well. Like I've just got income, but you could actually, if you've got like online sales, if you've got clients one-to-one, but then your outflows. So your Facebook advertising, your stationery, your mobile phone, your domain names, your Calendly, your ClickFunnels, your MailChimp, your internet, your marketing, your Zoom, all those costs to run our business are an expense. And sometimes you don't even realize because you're paying yearly for it if you're not paying monthly. So I like to break it up on a monthly basis in here. So, even if you have paid yearly, or once you've got used to sheet, then you can, the sheet. You then sort of can put in at the time you actually spend it, because when it's an actual cash flow, it should be at the time that you spend it. But when you're first setting this up, you might want to just sort of see how much money you need to bring in. And it doesn't have a thing. Okay. So that totals your total outflows. Then there's things like obviously your BAS if you are registered for GST. Like I'm registered for GST, so I still pay the BAS. So I have to recognise that in there. Your income tax. If you're a bigger business and you employ people, you could have, you might, and you're doing entertainment, you may have to register for FBT. So there's all these different rules depending on what type of business you have. And then what does it calculates based on what your bank balance was, to go, okay, this is my closing balance in Aussie dollars at the end of that month. And then you can see if you have those expenses that are based in that sheet, by June 26th, you'll still have 43,000 in the bank. So then you can go, okay, I've got that much in the bank. I can spend that on outsourcing, or I need to put an event together, or I need to put out a ClickFunnel, like actually, build a funnel that you can actually put out to people, and that's going to cost you $5,000. I can afford to actually do that because I've got the income to cover it. Or if I don't, what do I need to do to increase my income? Do I need to bring on 2 clients? Do I need to work 5 days a week for 6 months to actually build it up? Knowing your numbers will allow you to know what you want. And so you can actually then have fun and enjoy your life, or whatever it is that you want to do. If you want to be earning $200,000 a year, $300,000 a year, knowing this, understanding this will allow you to actually do that. Does that make sense? Has anyone got any questions? Is anyone afraid of that? No. Yay. You can all put your accountant's hat on. Woohoo! What else? Gee, I finished way before time, haven't I? Okay, what have I got first? We'll keep going. Summary. Yeah, well, I might put some more dancing on. So a quick summary is basically, are you a money magnet? Yes. Yes? Yay. So proceed to the bank. Woohoo! If you're not yet, identify your core values. Align your mean of money to core values. Align your left and right brain. So if you're ever sort of feeling a bit phased out, do the cross core. And use your left side of the brain to take inspired action. Know your numbers. I know a lot of people find this boring to actually do this part of your job, but it's really, really important to actually understand what it is that you want from your business, what you want to buy with it. Do you want to work with a coach to sort of increase your skills or to increase marketing? Do you want to run ads? All those sort of things, you only know if you know your numbers. Then you can proceed to the bank. Woohoo! So I've just got like a little thank you gift. If someone wants to go through that spreadsheet and to discuss it with me, have a session to maybe look at their values, then you're happy to have a scan, and the first 5 will get it for $25. That's a special gift for everyone here today. This is 1 hour spending with me, understanding things, what we've gone through today. And I've also got like just my Magnet for Money workbook, so you can scan that and download whenever you want to. I'll have them on flyers just on my table afterwards if you don't sort of get enough time to do it now. Out of your way.
Work with people like monthly to keep their budgets so that they do what they're supposed to do.
I usually start someone out and then they can actually they learn to handle it themselves. And some people might use a program like Xero and stuff like that. For someone who doesn't want to spend the money on Xero, Excel is a great way to get started.
So do you work with people to keep them accountable so that they don't spend their money? And you know how some people need the person that's got the what?
Yeah. At the moment, I'm not working with anyone for that at the moment, but I can. It's basically, I tend to do more of the beliefs and then go into the side of it. But if someone says, hey, Karyn, I just can't do this on my own, yeah, definitely. At the moment, I haven't actually got anyone at this particular moment where I'm doing that. But if someone wants that, definitely, 100%. I have done it before, just don't have anyone at the moment.
Thank you for that. I'd like to ask a question about the apps that are now out.
Mhm.
So I've been using Spreadsheet for years, but there's a great push in the UK for all businesses to go on to Xero or QuickBooks or something like that. Could you give me your opinion on
Yeah.
that?
I like Xero. The reason why, I mean, MYOB's changed and they do a lot of online stuff, but the good thing about Xero is that you can upload copies of the receipts and attach it to your payments. But of course, all this comes at a cost in Xero. But it's great because you can invoice out. If you've got staff, you can do payroll through there. If you're going to have assets like your computer and all this stuff, you can depreciate your assets inside Xero. So those programs are really good for doing those sort of things, especially as you grow, as you get into a bigger business. A person one-on-one, the cost of it may not be feasible, especially if you're first starting out, and that's where Excel can come in great. And the idea is once you've done this, when you go to your accountant, you've got it all there because you know what your expenses are. You've had to build that out to actually fill out your cash flow. You know what your money's been spent on. And you can break it out into particular costs. Like I've only just said, like minimal costs in there in that spreadsheet, but you can have it like that long, basically say, so your accountant knows what's taxable and what's not. Yep.
I'd just like to recommend Henry for people who've seen the ads. I used it in New Zealand for the last 2 years and I've just switched it over to the Australian version.
Okay.
And how it works, just in a nutshell, because it's actually hard to find an explanation of how it works, is that they give you a business bank account and you give that business account to your clients, and Henry have your personal account details and they will deduct tax at source. So it's like you're still pay as you go for those people who have recently self-employed, and then it just gives you the net amount into your personal bank account, and it's great because you know that you can spend that. Because
Yeah.
that's your kind of net profit.
And so does it have, because I have to tell you, I haven't actually heard of it or seen, I have to go home and research. I've never actually heard of Henry. Does it give you a breakdown, like can you run a report to say what you spent that month and everything? So you know,
You can upload
and you're in total control?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not very good if you employ other people.
Right.
If you're a sole trader, regardless of whether you're GST registered or not, it works really well.
Okay. And what's the monthly cost for it?
They just take 1%.
1%, okay.
But then they also automatically generate the expense as an
expense in there. Yeah. Okay.
expense. So yeah,
That could be very, I have to research it myself. And as I said, I've never heard it, but yeah, sounds great.
Shock when you see how much tax you pay.
Yeah.
Because you only get the net amount. But then that's good because it makes you look at your fees and go, well, actually, realistically, if I was earning this as a salary, then this is what
Yeah.
I expect.
But it also depends on if you're a company, because if you're a company, it'd be the tax rate of the company. So, which I've got my business set up as a company. For me, that made more sense. My partner is very cautious. You're not going to lose a house. Rah, rah, rah. So I'm a spender, and I sort of bring in money, but he was worried about it. So I had to do what gave him comfort at the same time. So a company suited that perfectly. Oh, I've done it again. Right. There we go. No. What'd I do? Fucked it.
You starting it again?
No. Oh, okay.
That's right. Just
Yeah, okay.
there you go. I'll let you get through to where you were.
Cool,
Sorry.
cool, cool. No, right. I think we need the end anyway. I've done it again. Woohoo. So I'll put that back there if in case anyone wanted to get the compass cards just from Amazon. You can just click on that QR code. Got a question? Sorry.
Yeah, I just want to ask the respect to the values. Like, what if your values kind of don't align with wealth?
Don't align with wealth.
Yeah, like spirituality is very important to me.
Okay.
And so when I ask myself the question, how does this value not serve you in relation to money?
What was your answer for that?
I don't know, how does it not, or even like so my values have had these core values for the past 6-7 years.
Yeah.
I'm not changing them, I love these values. But so maybe health is the only thing that how does this value not serve you in relation to money when it comes to health? If I'm not healthy, I'm not going
You can earn, yep.
Be in a good place to make money. So that makes sense.
Correct.
Each of these values, you're saying each of these values should somehow correlate with wealth.
It doesn't have to correlate with wealth, but you have to actually not push wealth away because you see it as a value that stops you from bringing in wealth. So if you had a thing that you said it doesn't bring in wealth, like the question, why is this value important? How does this value not serve in relation to money? So if you had you believed that spirituality can't make money, that is like an alignment where you think it doesn't align with wealth. So then you've actually got to find a way for it to align. So spirituality will attract clients because you're connecting with them. So you just got to look at what could be blocking the wealth, because not all values are about wealth. Our values are not necessarily about wealth, but it's when we have ideas that it's in our unconscious mind that we can't be wealthy because of that value. And then we need to flip that consciously to something that does align with money. Because that's one of the things we don't actually think about with our values. We may think of it like, obviously with our partners and our relationships and all that stuff, but it's actually about money. We often don't think about our values, how it can actually bring in money for us or how it could be blocking. So it's just bringing that awareness. If you look at spirituality and you don't see that there's no reason for it not to serve you, then it's not a problem. You don't need to flip anything. But if there is something there, if you dig deep and go, okay, spirituality means that they're not going to, people who are into that are not going to pay out money for it, then you need to change that to something that would attract money.
So it's about defining what that value means to you personally.
Correct.
And then working from there.
Yes. And sometimes you may have to delve into it to find out what it is that you think there's a reason why it could be pushing wealth away. And this is what you do. You can do this with your clients, but obviously I do it with clients, but you also, as us, we need to do it ourselves because we're in business. So it's really important for you guys to get this takeaway as well before you can actually start working with clients with it and understanding how it actually works. Does that help answer your question? Good. Okay, is there any other questions? Or do we just want to dance? Let's dance? Woo! Yeah, sure.
I think spirituality totally and completely aligns with wealth. Because when I think of it, I think that I am one with divine source. And being one with divine source, then I'm also one with my heart's desire, which is to basically have wealth and spread wealth in the world.
And once you have that, you're also attracting those people. So that's where if you had a belief it wasn't, you would actually change it to that belief. Does that also help you with yours? You just couldn't understand why it doesn't. Yeah. And then like knowing that once you're connected with the world and you're connected with yourself, you're going to connect with the right clients. They're going to come searching, seeking you out because of who you are. Yeah, exactly. And the more we are aligned with ourselves, the more we'll attract the clients the ideal clients that we're looking for. Anybody else? Dance time. Do you want the same song or do you want something different?